Welcome back to another trade recap. Today is August the 1st. I hope you guys have been doing well. I know I haven't posted on this channel in a while. I've been gone the past month, so I'm glad to be back at the home office. I'm going to start uploading at least 3 to 4 times per week this month. I'm going to be doing trade recaps, weekly outlooks, just anything market related, especially since the markets are heating up, of course, with FOMC. So with that being said, just to give you guys a quick little update, let me go over my trading statistics for the month of July. Ended off the month $83,000, trade win percentage 71%, profit factor 7, daily win percentage 93% with an average win to loss ratio of 3. Last month was absolutely fantastic. I know the stats are fairly elevated just because I've been trading very well, very selective in what I'm taking. As you can see, the last 2 weeks were definitely a lot slower in the markets. Ended up only taking around 1 to 2 trades per day. At least for today, I'll go over some of the trades I ended up taking. Today was a Tesla trade towards the upside above our previous day highs. This was a textbook setup. I'll talk about this a little bit more here in a second, but let's head back onto my trading calendar. Some things I want to note before we head on to the economic calendar and what we're looking for coming to this week. As you can see, only had one red day last month. Which was on Tuesday, July the 14th. But besides that, pretty solid month in the markets. There really wasn't too much in the markets in terms of trends last month. A lot of it more so was just base hits in the markets and just looking for the reaction that we have off key technical levels. So with that being said, let's hop straight into what we're looking for coming into this week. At least for some of the things that we have. ISM manufacturing, that was today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As for Tuesday, we do have JOLTS opening. Wednesday, some more orange folder along with Thursday. And then, of course, on Friday, we do have the average hourly earnings month over month, the non-farm enrollment change, plus the unemployment rate as well. The main things that we have coming into this week is earnings. Palantir after close today. AMD, SpaceX tomorrow after close. We have Shopify in the morning on Wednesday. And then, of course, we have some major memory reporting that is SanDisk, Western Digital. Those are the main ones to keep an eye out for, at least coming into this week. So Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be fairly important. That being said, let's go over the trade that we end up taking here today, and then we'll go over what we're expecting coming into the markets moving forward. So as you can see here today, I ended up taking Tesla the 320 calls right off our previous day highs. This was a textbook previous day high retest in my opinion. If we go on to the hourly time frame, as you can see here for Tesla, last week we started to base. You can see higher lows are at least being built. If we can break above our previous day highs, that's going to be key for a flip in order to push back towards the upside. So this was one of the theses coming to market open above our previous day highs. We can see a mean reversion back towards the upside. So for Tesla coming into market open, as you can see, we end up breaking above our previous day highs. Within the first 15 minutes of market open, you can see very strong push above our previous day highs. Now, all we're doing is looking for this previous day high retest for this pushback towards the upside. If you go on to the 1 minute time frame, you can see price comes back in. Nice buyers that stepped in right off our previous day highs. This is where I took my first entry, which was right off that previous day highs. And you can see for Tesla, as long as you maintain above that previous day highs, came back down, actually added a little bit more into my position. And as you can see, took my first scales up into high of day. And then we're just being patient, right? Higher time frame thesis was still intact. The Qs was looking bullish, of course, on the higher time frames as well. So really just maintaining this one on the 5 minute time frame. As you can see, higher lows were being built on the 5, got back above this 318, above this 9 EMA here as well. And as you can see, Tesla really saw a push, just kind of scaling along the ways. And now we're looking for that final target up and towards 325 along with 327. Some of the other names that look good today, Nvidia, you can see very similar setup to Tesla. The flip above our previous day highs, nice hold above that level for continuation. Other names that look good that we talked about right off the bat, Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon were all on watch coming into market open, of course, with the higher timeframes moving up nicely as well. So with that being said, let's talk about a weekly outlook and what we're looking for coming into this week and what is the thesis moving forward. Starting off with the SPY, you can see last week we end up coming back down into a key level of support, which happens to be that 730. Now you can see we're bouncing aggressively. What I like to see now is a reaction that we have really right off this 755, which we're pushing up into currently. If we can get above this, really all-time highs here is in play. That's what we're looking for on the overall markets. For the Qs, we're trying to reclaim back above the 690, which is solid. Now we want to see a flip and a pushback towards the upside as well. And of course, the semiconductors is a lot weaker. That's why some of the semis have been showing a lot more weakness, and we've been focusing more on the Mag 7 names. So SPY, I want to see it push up into that all-time highs. Qs, I want to see the break back above that 690. And then for the SMH, we do have key earnings this week. Let's see if we can get back above that 560 for a flip back towards the highs. Tesla, nice bounce after it got back above that previous day highs along with this earnings low. Now you want to see a push back up in towards that basically earnings high candle along with that daily gap. As for AMD, this one has earnings on Tuesday after close. We're going to be a little bit more patient on this one. We'll just see what happens after earnings. As for NVIDIA, what we have marked out is our 210 along with our key level of support, which is our 192. Currently, you can see we're just bouncing off a key level of support. Now we want to see that trade back up in towards that 212.50. Apple, key level that we have is our earnings high plus our earnings low. You can see we actually rejected off our earnings high here today, and we ended up reversing back towards the downside. So for Apple, rejection off that 310, and now we're moving back down in towards that previous day lows. Google, one of the names that is very bullish. What I like to see now on Google is a break above that 370, which we got. Let's see if we can get that continuation higher. Microsoft, now the key technical levels that we have marked out on this one after we broke above that 460, maintain above 460, continuation back up in towards 500 and that all-time highs. Meta, bounce off a key level support coming to market open. Amazon, breaking above our all-time highs. Let's see if we can get that continuation now above that all-time highs for a move higher. Netflix, right at key technical level. SpaceX, of course, has earnings tomorrow as well. But yeah, with that being said, at least moving forward and what we're looking for, what we're going to be keeping an eye out for is number one, the Mag 7 to lead the market higher. That's going to be key. And then as you can see, a lot of the semiconductors have been lagging behind. So until these ones show strength, we're going to be a lot more cautious, even potentially looking for some short positions on these ones. But with the markets bouncing so far last week with FOMC, with, of course, some of the news events that we had last week, I do expect this to now reverse back towards the upside until at least SPY hits our all-time highs. We could see a rejection here, and that's when we can see the markets potentially flip lower. But right now, with us reclaiming back above, we're trying to flip on the daily time frame here on the Qs and the SMH. So now we'll be looking for a push back towards the upside. So with that being said, that's a quick little outlook for you guys. Now I'm going to head on to the live session that I have for us today. So coming into market open, you can see within the first 5 minutes, there's a couple names that are leading the markets higher. Amazon, Microsoft was not able to find an entry right off the bat. Tesla, as you can see, starts pushing up here as well. So within the first 10 to 15 minutes, you can see Tesla is now breaking above our previous day highs. So what I'm mentioning here is I just want to see a hold of this previous day highs for continuation towards the upside. And as we speed up the tape here, you can see Qs is coming back to that opening range. What I want to see Qs is buyer step in for a push higher. As we keep playing out the tape, you can see Tesla's coming back into that previous day highs. Let's listen to him what I say. Tesla, I just entered in some of the Tesla, the 320 calls here off our previous day highs so far. We're seeing some nice aggressive buyers here on Tesla off our previous day highs. My stop is going to be underneath our previous day highs, and I'm looking for a pushback up and towards high band above. Just entered in the 320 calls here on Tesla. So as you can see here on Tesla, just entered in the 320 calls. Risk is going to be a break underneath that previous day highs. And now I'm going to be looking for buyers to step in for continuation towards the upside. As we speed up the tape here, you can see Tesla, I just kind of redrew my levels, but this is their exact key technical level, which is at 315. And as you can see, buyers end up stepping in very nicely off this level, and the Q started pushing towards the upside. Took some scales up into that 318, and that was basically the live session. The trade ended up moving much later into the day, but held on the 5-minute time frame. We kind of talked about NVIDIA. There's a couple setups that look solid towards the upside, but then Tesla ended up breaking out. And as you can see now, currently, we are having this nice push towards the upside. Next key targets that we do have is going to be that 325 here on the higher time frame. So really solid trade for today. End up taking previous day highs for a push up and towards high of day plus that 325. We'll probably see more continuation, of course, with just now the Qs flipping back above. We'll see if now the Qs can push up and towards that 700 and that 702. And then for the SPY, really next levels now, since we're above that 755, it's going to be that all-time highs that we have 760 on the higher time frame. So I'll keep you guys updated in the pre-market preps. I am back, so I will have more daily uploads for you guys, or more frequent uploads. Yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. If you have any comments, drop them in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Peace.